225 million years to go around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, Sirius, with Alcyon in tow and us and our solar system following along. Oh, totally. Oh, I'm totally serious. Let's pull that back to what that looks like from outside. Our sun, 1 million light years away, is, it's just cosmic dust. It does not become the brightest star till 1 light year.
Alright. Right now he's giving us taking us from the universe down to the cellular, the creation of ourselves, and it's all related here, folks. Top of a large oak tree.
A galaxy rotates around the center of the universe. Well, that would be a cosmic year with
Sirius orbits the great central sun.
We'll get to how many times we've been around.
Alcyon.
This, what you're looking at, is one of the most fantastic pieces I was able to find. This would be the galactic central sun. Is that Alcyon or Sirius? Okay, there's Earth. You're going to find this has to be Sirius, and you're looking at a 225 million year cycle. This will be demonstrating our precession of the equinoxes and why the Earth wobbles the way it does, 23.5 degrees towards the great central sun, the center of the Milky Way galaxy, or away from it, depending on which is above or below the galactic equator. So not only do we rotate in a circle, we have an orbit which goes up and down. Then we have a pole. Now we don't have a pole. Now you'll see when it's in the center, it's straight up and down. There's no magnetics on either side. Keep this in mind. This is extremely important. Okay, so right there,
12,960 years.
Crosses the center of the Milky Way equator. As you can see, it's actually going to be going down. This is our elliptical orbit. And 25,627 years ago, when we were that direction.
Ancient scholars who observed the precession of the equinox provided a simpler explanation than a wobbly Earth. They said that our sun curves through space, moving in a great orbit of its own, pulling the Earth and other planets along with it.
Search your feelings, you know to be true. This is the correct picture of our orbits from a top-down view. But since the sun is traveling, let's turn it on the sideways. Let's give it a three-dimensional view and watch the orbit of our sun on a vertical motion. It's called a helical orbit. Our sun's traveling through the galaxy at an incredible 132 miles per second, or 482,000 miles an hour, which means we travel 11 million miles a day, whether you're awake or asleep. Here's Voyager 1 and 2, and out at our heliosphere is our sun barreling through the galaxy at a blistering 482,000 miles per hour. It's 11 million miles a day we travel. I mean, we all know we spin and we go, but in 1 year, at that velocity, awake or asleep, we travel 4,222,000,000 miles a year. That's what I call a mothership. We're already on the mothership.
We all live in a helical solar system. If this term sounds new, you're not alone. Most people don't know what it means. This video is an opportunity for you to learn that the helical solar system is where we all live. it will help you understand what a helical solar system is and show you how it moves. We live on planet Earth, one of the 8 planets revolving around a star we call the Sun. The Sun is one of millions of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. During the 20th century, astronomers discovered that the Sun itself is revolving around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. The Sun's velocity as it orbits the galaxy is currently calculated at 134 miles per second, or 482,000 miles per hour, a very substantial velocity. For centuries, we've been taught that the planets of the solar system move in flat orbits in a plane called the ecliptic, with the Sun at its center. All of that is still true, except for the term flat orbits. Because the Sun moves, no planet can follow a flat orbit. To keep pace with the Sun, it has to move in a spiral, or a helix, as the astronomers call it. Here we can begin to see the helical paths of each of the 4 inner planets, as the Sun and planets move away from the camera. So by focusing on them, we can best demonstrate how helical orbits fit around the Sun. Moving outward from the Sun, we see Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. We can also see that the planets closer to the Sun have to move faster than those farther out.
Not most, but more humans than not have heard about 2012. Some reference. The Mayan calendar, the last day, also marks, but within 31 days of now, virtually every human being alive on planet Earth will know that that means the world will end. The sky is falling. Which, of course, is preposterous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Not one prophecy, scripture, piece of writing ever says the end of the world. Not one. It's nowhere. Chicken Little. It certainly doesn't say it in any Mayan prophecy. It's not in the biblical prophecy, not in any Indian prophecy, not in the Quran. Never said the end of the world. I'm standing offer for anyone to show me any prophecy, any writing that says it's going to be the end of the world. It doesn't exist. This world that we live on, this third rock from the Sun, is exactly that. A big, giant rock. It's not going anywhere. There's only one prophecy, to my knowledge, which even correctly uses the phrase.
Mark Graham, you're listening to Mark Graham right here, who actually heard this. Now, keep in mind, folks, that this was sent to me, this film that I have linked to my show, was sent to me by one of my guests that were on yesterday, Grandma, VK Durham. She sent that to me. I got a phone call from the guest I had scheduled. That was Gordon Duff. I got a email, Skype from Gordon Duff that said, I'm going to be in the dentist office. Here's my wife's phone here. I'm going to be in the dentist office tomorrow. The appointment is exactly when we were supposed to do the show. I said, don't worry about it. I'll find something else. And so I got up early this morning and clicked on this and found this to be so interesting because, A, it backs up what I've told you that the Mayans 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 years ago were part of the advanced Atlantean civilization, and they had been to the stars. They knew what the stars were. They knew what this wasn't a bunch of Indians looking up at the sky. I told you about that, and I wrote articles about it. I wrote stories about it. I wrote short stories and novels that will be out this next year about this exact thing, the conjunction, the planets passing, and everything that was happening. I wrote about it years ago, 45 years. And I decided to do this. I found this yesterday, last night, this morning. I got up and decided I would play this clip on my show today to reassure you that 1221 ain't the end of the world. And we did it, decided to do this. Had this open up on 12 12 12. 12 12 12 is the day this show was recorded. And this man that made this film called me up. Called me up on the show while I was doing the show and said, "This is Mark the Ark. I'm honored that you're playing my show. I find this to be way beyond the bounds of synchronicity. I think this is God giving me the information, making this show today, and to tell you that there's nothing to be afraid of here. They want you to be afraid. They've tried to block this show because they want you to be afraid. They succeed in blocking it some places. Some places we got disconnected, couldn't hook back up again. But before the end of the day, it'll all be up. This show will be up. And folks, this is why I asked for help. Because I understand what's going on, and I've tried to put this show together by myself to make this all work for you, so you get some information, so you don't have to be afraid. Now, I've told you too, you can prepare. You can start growing plants in your back room, in your garage, in your wherever. Put up grow lights. You can do this on your own. You don't need the government. You don't need the informers. You don't need the organization. You can do that on, and you do it by passing on information like this to your local people, your neighbors, your family. You can beat these people. And it ain't just about the Jews. I think the Jews ought to be listening to me too. And as a matter of fact, let me end this up. Let me end this up with the words of a Jew. The White House referred to Christmas tree as holiday trees, which prompted a CBS presenter, Ben Stein, to send this. And I want to end my show with this. My confession, I am a Jew, and every single one of my ancestors was Jewish. This is Ben Stein talking. It does not bother me even a little bit when people call those beautiful lit up bejeweled trees Christmas trees. I don't feel threatened. I don't feel discriminated against. That's what they are, Christmas trees. It doesn't bother me a bit when people say Merry Christmas to me. I don't think they're sliding me or getting ready to put me in a ghetto. In fact, I kind of like it. It shows we are all brothers and sisters celebrating this happy time of the year. It doesn't bother me at all that there's a manger scene on display at a key intersection near my beach house in Malibu. If people want a crib, it's just as fine with me as the menorah a few hundred yards away. I don't like getting pushed around for being a Jew. I don't think Christians like getting pushed around for being Christians. I think people who believe in God are sick and tired of getting pushed around, period. I have no idea where the concept came from that America is an explicitly atheist country. I can't find it in the Constitution, and I don't like it being shoved down my throat. Or maybe I can put it another way. Where did the idea come from that we should worship celebrities and we aren't allowed to worship God? I guess it's a sign I'm getting old too, but there's a lot of us who are wondering where the celebrities came from and where the America we knew went to. In light of the many jokes we send to one another for a laugh, this is a little different. This is not intended to be a joke. It's not funny. It's intended to get you thinking. Billy Graham's daughter was interviewed on the early show, and Jane Clayton asked her, how could God let something like this happen regarding Hurricane Katrina? Anne Graham gave an extremely profound and insightful response. She said, I believe God is deeply saddened by this, just as we all are, but for years we've been telling God to get out of our schools, to get out of our government, and to get out of our lives, and being the gentleman he is, I believe he's calmly backed out. How can we expect God to give us his blessing and his protection if we demand he leave us alone? In light of recent events, in terrorist attacks, school shootings, etc., I don't think even Madeline Murray O'Hara, she was murdered, her body found a few years ago, complained. She didn't want prayer in our schools, and we said, okay. Then someone said, we better not read the Bible in school. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and love your neighbor as yourself. And we said, okay. Then Benjamin Spock said we shouldn't spank our children when they misbehave because their little personalities would be warped and we might damage their self-esteem. By the way, Dr. Spock's son committed suicide. We said an expert should know what he's talking about, and we said, okay. Now we're asking ourselves why our children have no conscience, why they don't know right from wrong, why it doesn't bother them to kill strangers, their classmates themselves. Probably, if we think about it long and hard enough, we can figure it out. I think a great deal of it has to do what we reap, we sow. So funny how simple it is for people to trash God and then wonder why the world's going to hell. Funny how we believe the newspapers say but question what the Bible says. Funny how you can send jokes through email, they spread like wildfire, but when you start sending messages regarding the Lord, people think twice before sharing. Funny how lewd, crude, vulgar, and obscene articles pass freely through cyberspace, yet public discussion of God in the school and workplace is suppressed. Are you laughing yet? Funny how when you forward this message, you will not send it to as many people on your address list because you're not sure what they believe or what they will think of you for sending it. Funny how we are more worried about what other people think of us than what God thinks of us. So pass this on if you think it has merit. If not, then just discard it. No one will know you did, but if you discard the thought processes, don't sit back and complain about what bad shape if you discard this thought process, don't sit back and complain about what a bad shape the world's in. My best regards, honestly and respectfully, Ben Stein. Thank you, and this is why I don't support the idea that all Jews are bad. No, we're all people. Thank you for watching this show. Well, that was pretty interesting, huh? Did I get all this done here? Okay. Hopefully you folks got that. Now let me see if I can do this. That's an idea. Let's see if I can do this. I'm still recording on this one. Let me see if I can go here and hold on, folks. I'm trying something here. I've got a recording going that missed the first half. And so what we're going to try to do here is play that. Hold on. Okay, that's not working. Come on, boys. Ben, come on. Ben, did you come in? Okay. Package, come here. Package, come here. Come on. Come on. Right, let me see if I can do this. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Trying to do this, folks. Patience. A little bit of patience here. And
welcome everybody to season 2
verses and flows.
Rock Folk Radio.
So high, so broad, so great, so free. Your feathers are fire, fly to the sky. Your spirit is one with me. Your wings span mighty ocean. Your eyes see everything. The slightest of your motion can make a continent swing. Yet in all your mighty glory, vanished from the skies, leaving just another story. Mysteries of man-made life. They tell of how you fell from the sky.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Free American Hour. I'm your host, I am Clay Douglas. My guest that I had scheduled for today had to a dentist appointment at the same time, so rather than broadcast him screaming in the dentist chair, I decided I'd talk to you about something different. You know, I've told you that I think God works on the internet today. And, you know, burning bushes is just... Can you believe that I actually said this in advance? My guest yesterday sent me a tape that I think we all should listen to. You know, there is a lot of doomsday prophecies out there. And and the major of these is 2012. December 21st, 2012. And that's why I'm doing this particular subject on this particular day, because today is pretty unique. It's 12/12/2012, and we've seen the movies, we've seen all this stuff. Okay, hang on a minute. All right. All right. Thing working here. 12/12/2012. And we talked about it, John and I and some other people, Misha and I talked the other day about the Mayans, about the Mayans. I had got a link up on Facebook, the Mayan elders. But the Mayan elders aren't actually predicting the end of the world. And what has happened is the Earth and this planet is a lot older than the actual history books tell. The seven pyramids go back 12,000 years. They were built by the advanced civilization and not the primitive Indians that you want to see in Stephen or in the movies. They weren't exactly like that. They may have already traveled to the stars. And that's be found it, but they told us about the end of the world in 2012. No, they didn't. They didn't say that. And this is more of this crap that people make up that are playing with you. And God sent me the information on the internet. And I'm going to share that. This is 2012. I'm going to skip around a little bit, and it will be linked up here, so you can watch the whole thing. But let's skip around a little bit.
The most significant of the Mayan calendar was the long count. It tracks a 5,125-year era. Beginning on August 11th, 3114 BC, and abruptly ending on December 21st, 2012. Did the Mayans actually intend this date to represent the end of time? Science has confirmed that the winter solstice in 2012 will coincide with an extraordinarily rare event, called the galactic alignment. It was key to place our sun in the very center of our home galaxy, the Milky Way. From our vantage point within it, the Milky Way looks like a band with a dark rift in the center, a place where there are no visible stars. Mayan astronomers calculated that the winter solstice sun appears to line up within this dark rift center of the galaxy, once every 26,000 years. Astronomers today have concluded that the coming galactic alignment will be the first such occurrence since the beginning of human civilization. They suggest violent solar storms hurling deadly radiation toward Earth, a magnetic polar shift, even a complete pole reversal. Scenarios that could leave our planet devastated. According to some interpreters, the Mayan calendar is clear. 2012 marks the end of time. Many believe that this is the date when the world will end.
Okay.
Now, by this point, probably not most, but more humans than not have heard about 2012. Some reference. The Mayan calendar, the last day, also marks, but within 31 days now, virtually every human being alive on planet Earth will know that that means the world will end.
And this news.
Which, of course, is preposterous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Not one prophecy, scripture, piece of writing ever says the end of the world. Not one. It's nowhere. It's real. It certainly doesn't say it in any Mayan prophecy. It's not in biblical prophecy, not in any Indian prophecy, not in the Quran. Never says the end of the world. I just need an offer for anyone to show me any prophecy, any writing that says it's going to be the end of the world. It doesn't exist. This world that we live on, this third rock from the sun, is exactly that. A big, giant rock. It's not going anywhere. There's only one prophecy I know that can be correctly used to phrase.
Giant plumes of methane bubbling in the Arctic Ocean, Caribbean, our coral reefs mostly
Well,
dead.
no prophecy ever says in the world that if you all point to the end of something. Because of the phrase, the sound of the prophet. In time, it's prophet. The Mayan prophet clearly states that the calendar marks the end of it's only the end of time. They call it a time of no time. Well, Now, until time ends, time will appear to be doing anything, speeding up. How many of you here have said or heard people say, "God, I'm just so smart anymore"? Anyone who remembers vinyl records knows that back then life was on 33 and a third. Midlife-ish. So now it got bumped up to 4 to 5, 78. Now it seems like we're at 115. And life goes by like this and you say, "Well, never already." Search your feelings. You know that
Time is
I
speeding up.
pose this question of hundreds, if not 1,000 people. Many people you age need for you. Okay, do you remember Billy yesterday?
Jimmy Dean talked to me.
Why does it seem like it could be last week already, or last month? When I go up what I did last night, it's definitely last night. I don't believe it was on the day. It's all known. It's bizarre. Now, there's a very logical explanation for this. The most popular explanation is that time is speeding up, but our consciousness is. It makes it seem like time is speeding up. It's correct. That is assuming that time is the variable. You have to make sure you're starting with the correct variable and one is constant. Otherwise, it's going to appear like the opposite way you look at it. Ian Lungold from Science here, which is probably this author supporting your schedule, believed that time was speeding up because creation was speeding up. In other words, what was happening for the last time? Yes and no, still incorrect. Again, that implies that you and I, we are the constant, and everything else is speeding up. Now, if you were to travel at light speed, were it possible, everything else would seem like it's going to a standstill, correct? Now, for everything else to seem like it would be speeding up, we would have to be slowing down. At the point where we're slowed down to a standstill, everything else would appear to happen all at once. This is according to the prophecy. 5D, one dimension, scientifically demonstrable dimension, 1510 has apparently already collapsed. 1 through 3, that's the third dimension collapsing behind us. No future, no past, leaving us out of the fourth dimension to 5D, the fifth dimension known as heaven. Why is time speeding up? Scientists discovered many years ago that the Earth is about to pulse, and they know it's a sugar rich. This partial frequency has been approximately 7.8 cycles for thousands of years. What is military with development? This cycle 7.8 cycles per second. Before 1980, it started coordinating this constant for thousands of years. It started climbing. First measured at over 12 cycles out of the 13 possible cycles. So you go to the rainforest where there's no humans for hundreds of miles, and they stick a stethoscope up to the planet and they feel the heartbeat of the Earth. 7.8 cycles in 1980, climbing exponentially, 50% greater now, which is why the speed is like we have a 15-hour day. Do not underestimate the power of this next. This next set of seconds should flow into your mind. In the back end, that Purdue University actually early in 2006, scientists have been noting changes in the decay rate of the numerous particles. But those of you don't know, we have actually quantified a very steady and consistent and reliable data what are known as the half-life of nuclear particles, right down to nanometers, which is a billionth of a meter, and billionth of a second scale. They even brought it down to the femto level, which is a quadrillionth of a second scale, the cycles of a liter.
But here's where the story gets really interesting. When a nuclear power plant accumulates, it speeds up and means it's radiating more. Plasma energy. So as the particles form are in this new change of the sun are radiating a little.
Let me stop that for just a second while I try to get this channel back up. Incredible here. Alright, this ought to be the good part here, folks. Coming up, I got a call in while I was doing this show, this video that is linked on my website, freeamerican.com. Alright, we're talking here. We're talking here, and I don't know how much is coming through. Oh! Can I help you? Yes, sir.
You really have no good deal. You get a kick out of that, huh?
What's that?
This is Mark the Ark.
Mark the Ark.
Sorry. Studio, baby.
I'm sorry you're not coming in, and I'm in the middle of a show right now.
I'm the guy that made the video you're playing.
With the video I'm playing?
I made it.
Oh, welcome.
I'm going to call your blog talk line, okay?
Hold on a second. Let me,
Okay.
get my microphone here, my speaker. Okay. Yep.
I'm calling the blog talk line.
All right, so that'll work. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright, the creator of this film, Mark the Ark, and let's see, where am I doing this at? Okay, I've got Dark Tower Studio up here. Alright, everybody coming in here in just a second here, and we're going to get this up. We're talking about 2012, and we've been blocked here, the shows went down. Obviously, they want you to be afraid, not hopeful, and that's not necessary. That is not necessary. Okay, turn this one, we're on that one. I'll find this will work here. See which one it comes in on. Margaret, glad I answered that. And hopefully he'll call in here. Let's see. Yeah, right. All right, Mark, can you hear me yet? Perhaps not. Hold on a minute. Trying to get this up here. I've got you now, Mark.
I can hear you. I've been unmuted.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I've been unmuted.
Yeah, you're unmuted. You're unmuted here, and you are on my show live. I've got the film that you made here, 2012 ABC. galactical bent of Disney proportions, and you created that, huh?
I had assistance the same way I found you this morning. Now, for listeners, what are the odds that Clayton plays a video and the author of the video is listening to Clayton's show? Like you said, Clayton, God sends information through the internet, right?
I believe that's true. I think burning bushes are a little passe, and
Well, I'm
it's history, so yes, I believe that.
obviously I'm the burning bush, and the only way that I'm here is that God sent me. I love it. Thank you for you obviously get a kick out of that thing. Thank you for playing it.
I do, and I've actually skipped over some of this.
Well, now we have a five.
It's interesting. My show has really been blocked through the internet and has been streamed with, and the only people that can do that is basically Homeland Security.
Yeah, it's not doing it right now. Yeah.
And something about this is that they don't want to go out. I mean, I haven't even gone into the detail. This is a great movie. Probably one of the best here, probably 2012.
Thank you, Clayton.
I have, I certainly agree with you about the whole idea of the end of the world. It ain't happening. It ain't happened for, I would say, roughly 100,000 years. And I mean, they may have ended for somebody somewhere, but not globally, not, we may have had planetary collisions in the past, but that's not what the Mayans were talking about, was it?
No, you remind me a lot of the Woody Harrelson character in 2012. That's you, isn't it? Yeah. I thought it was me, but it's you. You're out there. That's great.
I don't know if you're aware of who I am, Mark, but the education gave me the credit for for starting the militias after what happened at Waco, and I did. They just don't tell you I did it in the governor's office. It wasn't exactly a staff organization. And
right.
the information they didn't like the information I was putting out. We referred to 9/11 as exaggerated case of Jewish, like worldwide radio, shortwave, and they tried to kill me for that.
Of course, you're putting the word out. So God bless you. Thank you, Clayton. Yeah, 1 week to tomorrow, the world isn't going anywhere. It may look a little different. I mean, there are changes that are going on with certainly sea level, and as we get ready to hit the galactic equator next week, where it intersects the proton belt at a point of zero gravitational pull, as we slow, everything slashes up towards the North Pole.
Yes.
So, there is no such thing as a Mayan prophecy. They don't own it. They do have a very, very specific calculation of when these cycles occur, and I could find no reason to find out it's not going to, whatever it is, isn't going to happen exactly when they said. They said when we line up with our central sun Alcyon, our sun, Kanika Howe receives a spark from his older brother in the center of the galaxy, our central sun, which is supercharging our sun, which is causing a lot of the solar flares and the decay rate of the atomic decay that you just played. And causing havoc on other planets, too. And it's just supercharging everything is what this photonic belt is doing. I can feel it already. And you're obviously in tune with Spirit, who talks to you. Dad talks to you all the time, tells you what to do. So I know you can feel the approaching wave. And even if nothing happens, there's a lot of crazy nuts out there that may might start something. Isn't that right, Clayton?
Yes, it's going to affect on the mind and everything. It's going to affect consciousness. We're all moving into a spot in the universe. We're going to be basically a dust cloud in our galaxy. And that dust cloud is going to cause the sun to heat up. But the way this universe is balanced, it ain't going to fry the earth if they move away. And it may God may have a plan for, I'll take you to the sun. All it takes is an atomic bomb. All it would take is something like this.
Yeah, so you brought up a good point. Since, now there's going to be a lot of water sloshing. I mean, it's a lot of water when the water comes, but that'll put the fire out.
Yeah, it's the universe balances. There's a balance here. And
Absolutely.
We are in a war. I firmly believe that we're in a war for control of this place. This war may go back 12,000 years.
Yes, but remember, the battle we fight is not physical. It really is a battle for our soul.
These are principalities, and there is an evil out there. It's easy to ascertain. Turn on your television and look into the eye of the beast. But that don't mean that we shouldn't use the technology that we've got, like we're doing right now. And I found this was sent to me by my guest of yesterday. So she's somebody that became doing it, and who could be one of the wealthiest women in the world if she would have kept it down by the evil ones, folks. I mean, they are out there. It's a battle of principalities. You're exactly right.
Yeah,
And the people that are once you see your friend, because that Lord vibrational level, what is love? That love is your level of vibrational energy, and the pros out there, the evil ones, the bankers, call them, they thrive on it, they feed off of it, it ain't good for you. They want you to be afraid of out of this world.
Yeah, of course.
Keep you afraid that you can't make any intelligent decisions. You can't survive this world, and some of us get better off than before. I can't see it in the next world, maybe you say.
Well, Clayton, I hope you can hear me. The distortion that they're messing with you, which I believe is pretty specific. I hope it comes out nice and clear on YouTube for you. And remember, the evil ones are only ones that chose not God. And that's the only choice of our free will. And there's hope for all of them. And you keep putting out that word there, Clayton.
Well, they certainly have tried to stop me. They tried to kill me. They're trying to block the show. I'm still to block TV. I can't get on there.
Of course, I've had my share, and the voice will not be squelched. Much love to you, brother, and keep on spreading this light.
All right. I thank you. I'd like to call you back because I'd like to talk to you about the show.
I know. I already heard that we'll do that.
Come here.
And to all the listeners, thank you. And I know you said you're going to put the link up there. I'm overwhelmed by the response. I'm just totally humbled. God definitely told me to do this movie, and it took me 3 months, and I knew I just had to get it done. And that you're playing it on your show, and that God sent me right to you. I just love it. It's the greatest job in the whole world, isn't it, Clayton?
It's never been easy to be free, folks, but if you've got the proper tools, everything you need comes to you. And That's how it come up. This will be up to be archived. All the attempts to block it.
But you remember to enjoy this week, okay? Don't let the fearmongers get to you. All you listeners, just let not your heart be troubled. These things must come to pass during this generation. And those who wait unto the end shall be saved. And so it is. Clayton, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you calling in.
Thanks, man. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was a repeat from the beginning. So just switch it around. This is the way the show works. The last half is now the first half. Or vice versa.